What are the secrets of the top sample makers and producers? Well, I don't know. But let me show you how I make samples. Before we get started, today's samples are from my new sample pack Phantoms. So if you like the samples in this video, you should check out the pack. There's even a free version, so you don't have any excuses not to download it. In this video I want to show you a few tricks and techniques that I like to use to make my samples more unique and interesting. And I basically just want to inspire you to be a bit more experimental with your melodies, because there's a lot more you can do than just playing in or drawing in your melodies. For the first example I have this melody. I started off with a really simple repetitive piano melody. We're in C minor and I basically just used this halftone step over and over again to make it sound dark. I added these very simple chords, just a 1-6-5 progression. Then I just added a few textures and accents. And we could just leave it like that and put some generic drums over it. But like I said, I want to show you some cool stuff you can do to make your melodies stand out more. So what I did with this sample was I rendered out the sample. I made it twice as fast. I reversed it. When reversing your samples, you always have to make sure to rearrange it so that the chord progression stays the same. Then I put some halftime and EQ on it, and we end up with this much more interesting sounding melody or texture. I rendered that out and I played around even more with the reverse slices. I pitched the reverse sample up 1 octave and I added it over the first reverse melody. And just like that, we already made a unique foundation for our sample. After that, I used that melody once again. This time I threw it into a fruity slicer. I pitched it up 1 octave and I reversed every single slice of it. So I put this new texture over the original melody, and as you can tell, I'm basically just recycling the main melody over and over again, which I think is a really cool technique because it adds lots of depth and flavor to your samples without making it sound random by just putting melody over melody. After that, I just put a simple bass line under the sample and I arranged it in a few different parts. Here we have the original melody with the high texture. Here's the reverse section. For the third part I did even more recycling. I used the piano melody, but I reversed it after every 2 beats. And in the end I just added another section for more variation. The second sample I want to show you sounds like this. So this one actually started out completely different. I started with a few guitar notes. I added some more guitar over it. I added this pad with pretty soulful chords because I was going for a dark R&B kind of vibe. I added a texture layer and some halftime bells. Then I added these arcade vocals. And that's the point where I realized that the sample kinda sucks. And that brings me to my next tip for this video. If your sample sucks, just turn it into a texture. So what I did was I rendered out the sample, I reversed it again, I pitched it up an octave, made it half as long. I put halftime on it and I chopped it into really small slices. And just like that, we got a really dope and unique texture for a dark trap sample. I ended up pitching the texture down 3 semitones just because it sounded cooler. And then I got back to recycling once again. I used the same distorted guitar notes from the beginning again. I added another guitar layer just going along with the chords. Some bass for the feeling. I added some vocals, this time they don't sound like shit. A little synthesizer layer to give it a bit more energy. And another tip to finish off the sample, don't be afraid to use tons of one-shots, textures and ambience, because it can really make your sample stand out and give it that special extra that it needed. These are the accents I added. And that's how I turned this shitty R&B sample into a really dope trap sample. We have only the guitar and vocals in the beginning. Then we have the bass and a chopped sample. The synth layer. And for the next part, another bonus tip. Switch it up and let your sample breathe. Sometimes giving your melodies more empty space, especially after more dense sections, can really give it a unique bounce and bring it to the next level. Pay attention to these little breaks, and especially right here, and pay attention to how epic the vocals sound by taking out all the other instruments. And for the end, I just let the sample fade out by only having the guitars and the accents. Alright, that's it for this video. I hope you could learn something, and I hope I could inspire you to be a bit more creative and experiment with your samples. Link to the sample pack is down in the description. If you look closely, you might find a hidden discount code. 50% off if you use that code. And yeah, that's it.